All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
You're what it do, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And that's my daughter. I guess she wants to hop in. Do you want to take over?
Love it.
You want to take over? I didn't think so, right? All right, then. So let Pops handle his business. As always, it's your boy Pride. We got a phenomenal panel today. The man who's the Oklahoma thing went up. Oh, my God. Hold on. We got Bishop in the building, and we might have the
What's going
Bishop
on, y'all? WGO. Yeah, I had to put it back up, man. Yeah, that was yesterday. That was the past. I'm still pissed, but I had to put it back up, man, because that's my squad.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
what's
sir.
up. I feel you, man. I understand.
Fact. So we got Bishop in the
Trey,
building.
don't start.
What's up, man?
Yeah, come on. Yeah,
Don't
yo,
start.
Trey. Let's be nice to him today. You feel me? We had enough with
Don't
him
start.
yesterday. Let's be a little nice. But we got Bishop in the building, whose favorite college head
What's
coach
going
is
on, y'all? What's
Riley.
good? What's good?
Yes, sir. Whose favorite head coach is Lincoln Riley. We got Coach Dante,
Really,
whose
Pride?
Rockets are. So who doesn't know who's worse, his Rockets team or the Portland Blazers organization? We got Greg, who probably still on cloud nine for the Chiefs, and Trey, who is mad as shit that not only Corey Seager dipped on him, but Mad Max got in his car and drove off. How's everyone doing today?
It's good. What's good? What's good, Pride? How you doing, fam?
Yo, I am.
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today? Hey, Bishop, man, how Oklahoma doing down there, man? How your Sooners doing down there?
You know what? I'm glad you asked. We doing great right now. I'm happy. It's one day after we've gotten rid of that bum Lincoln Riley. He's gone. He's out of here. Great. That's why I got my back up.
I told y'all.
That's how we do.
Hey,
Get
it's the
Lincoln
Coach
Riley.
Dante effect.
Get that bus he rode
Hey,
in on.
Bishop, y'all know it's the Coach Dante effect, huh?
It's bum ass.
Hey, it's the Coach Dante effect. Ever since I picked against Oklahoma against Baylor, they have not been right. I gotta stop them up.
I just want to say one thing.
That is facts.
I love how Bishop is like, we got rid of that coach of that bum Lincoln Riley. Meanwhile, Lincoln Riley was the one who was like, yeah, I'm going. Like, yo, my guy quit on his day off. And y'all talking about
my book, Pride, we got rid of him. He just said he left. That's all. We got rid of him.
You're right.
Yeah,
I just let him say that just to make him feel good about himself. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. 110%. But so last night we had a game. It was Seattle versus the Washington football team. Goddamn, what a time to not be alive. It was a horrible, disgusting, sloppy game. Not as bad as the Ravens-Browns, but man, it wasn't. It was not looking right. At the end, surprising for me, the Washington football team got the win, 17-15. Russell Wilson, during the 2-point conversion, he threw that interception, which ended up sealing the game. If they had converted on it, it would have went to overtime. Russell Wilson, 20 for 31, 247 with 2 touchdowns. Washington, Taylor Heineke, 27 for 35, 223, 1 TD, 1 interception. Leading rusher for the Washington football team was Antonio Gibson, who I think one of you guys said he was going to have a game. 29 carries, 101 yards. Unfortunately, no touchdowns, but he still gave you some decent points in terms of fantasy. And the leading rusher for Seattle in terms of touches was Alex Collins, who got 7 carries for 14 yards. But in terms of yards, it was Russell Wilson who ran the ball twice and had 16 yards. DK Metcalf was basically an oversight. Don't know why. But I'm gonna start with you, Bishop. What the fuck is going on in Seattle?
It's time, man. I feel like it's time for Russell to go, man. I feel like Russell is not it's not the fit in Seattle no more. He like you say, he threw 20 for 31 for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns. But when your quarterback is the leading rusher, and he's not a Lamar Jackson or nothing like that. Like, they had 34 yards total rushing. 34 yards in 4 quarters. You got 34 total yards rushing. That's ridiculous, man. You only rushed the ball 12 times. That's a problem. That's a problem. And then not only that, you rushed the ball 12 times, and DK Metcalf had 1 catch for 13 yards. 1 catch? Now, don't get me wrong. Tyler Lockett was the man, obviously. He was 3 for 96, averaging 32 yards a carry, but he didn't get in the end zone. And then you had Gerald Everett, 5 for 37. Freddie Swan had 1 for 32. It's just, I think it's time to, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. I think it's time to, several ties and let them go, their separate ways. I personally don't see Russell being there after this season. I feel like they're going to have to go another direction. They're 3-8. It just doesn't look good for the Seattle Seahawks. As far as Washington is concerned, though, Tyler Heinicke, he looked pretty good, man. He is showing that he deserves the starting position in Washington, bro. He deserves that position. And Antonio Gibson, 29 for 111 yards, 29 carries. That's, man, he balled out. Like, 29 carries. He's got all these these carries. Like, he had more carries by himself. Or shoot, let's look at the rest of the people that carried the ball. JD had 7, DeAndre had 1, Curtis Samuel had 1, Tyler Heinicke had 4. So the other 5 people that carried the ball and rushing for Washington had more carries than the whole team. Than the whole team of Seattle. Exactly. The whole team of Seattle. So it's like, I don't know, man. To me, not taking anything away from the Washington football team, man. I just feel like Seattle is just, it's time to, for them to start over. Russell had his run in Seattle. It's been nice. People, love Russell Wilson, but I feel like the outcome, this 3-8 record, shows why Russell wanted to leave in the offseason. This clearly shows why, because he has the weapons. He doesn't have the offensive line. I will say that his offensive line is doo-doo, but he does have the offensive weapons in, DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf, and of course Tyler Lockett and stuff like that. But as far as him being in Seattle no more, I know Pete Carroll probably doesn't want to get rid of him or doesn't want to let him go, but it's time.
If he gets rid of him, he gonna have to leave. That's just how I look at it. Like,
Pete Carroll? You think Pete Carroll gonna?
Yeah, I think if Russ leaves, I think Pete Carroll leaves. I'm not saying they go together somewhere,
right?
But I don't think Pete Carroll's gonna be in a mood to do a full blown rebuild, because that's what this is gonna be. This is gonna be a full blown rebuild, and I don't think he's gonna be in the mood for it. Trey, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I wanna be a cornball a little bit. I wanna reach a little bit. Russ, he ain't happy in Seattle, you know what I mean? He wants to get up out of there, you feel me? He wants to go to New York, you feel me? The Seattle organization, they've had a quarterback named Wilson, whose last name is Wilson, for a long time now. Would it be wild, if they're going to enter a full-blown rebuild, would it be wild for them to do a Wilson for Wilson swap with the Jets in terms of sending Russell Wilson to the Jets and getting Zach Wilson in return? Now, again, I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying, in and of itself, is that
was through Russell.
That would be like one of the wildest things in which can happen in the NFL. Pride like that does. I don't foresee that happening based on. Zach hasn't proven anything. It wouldn't be worth. It would have to be some stuff to pepper the pot. I would think in reference to for that to happen. Russell Wilson, although he's struggling right now in Seattle, it could just be a thing in which he just needs to be a change of scenery, so that way he can kind of revitalize himself and kind of move on. As we heard the rumblings at the beginning of the season, him to Chicago, saying the possibility of Miami, even though they're moving along steadily, is was out there. So I think at the end of the season, is going to be some teams that are going to be looking or going to need a seasoned vet, or you could have a situation where, I don't know if anyone agree, Russ might take a seat like Cam had to take a seat for a second, and now you're looking at, okay, let me jump on a team that needs a quarterback at this point, as opposed to right now. You got the Washington football team that we talked about, who just gave them the business last night. Heineke, saying Taylor wasn't even a household name a couple of weeks ago. Now he's starting for the Washington football team and doing pretty handily. He's moved them into a position. I don't think he's they're in the playoff, but they're knocking on the door to the playoffs. So I mean, it wouldn't be thrown up.
NFC East. With that win, that's making them competitive.
Yeah, so now you have that situation going on. So, but Zach, I don't foresee that would be happening unless they thought that they can do something with Zach, and they got a lot more besides just a 1-for-1 trade.
All right, Greg, let me ask you something. Excuse me. In terms of the Washington football team side, so obviously, heading into the season, it's a starting job was literally handed on a silver platter to Ryan Fitzpatrick. They signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. They said, "You're our guy. We want you to hold us." Taylor, you did great, but kid, just get back on the bench. He went down. This team, when they gave the starting job to Taylor Heineke, was just like, look, don't mess it up. The defense will lead you. Don't get in the way of it. Now it almost seems like it's switched. So now it's Taylor Heineke doing most of whatever he needs to do. He's doing everything he needs to do and then some and more. And it's almost like this defense is lagging. So with the way this kid has been playing, do you think that the Washington football team will just shrug their shoulders and say, let's give this kid a chance? Or do you think if Ryan Fitzpatrick gets healthy, he gets a starting job? Or do you think they'll go and try to find another quarterback to replace Taylor?
No, this is Tyler Heineke's job as long as he keeps winning. The league is about wins, and he's getting wins for him. He's got Washington in the playoff hunt. Right, they're not going to go back to Fitzpatrick. Yeah, they're not going to go back to him. So this is Tyler Heineke's job from this point forward. To lose. Yeah. Now, if they start losing, then they'll go to somebody else. But they're 5-6. They're right in the thick of it there for that last wild card spot. So. It's his job. He's playing well. Tyler Heineke, when they do lose, most of the time he's not the reason why. So, good job by him. He's doing very good right now. Yeah.
So, Mitch, real quick, I want to read you off the NFC East. So it's Dallas in first, 7-4. Washington in second, 5-6. The Eagles in third, 5-7, which is hilarious because they lost to the Giants. Imagine being that dog shit. Oh, my bad. Bishop, you're here. I don't want to reopen the old wound. And then the Giants are 4-7 and last in the division. Mitch, here's the question. Do you believe Taylor Heineke can lead this Washington team to win this division this year?
To win this division?
Yes.
No. I don't think so because I think it's Dallas. I think they got it in the bag. Their players are coming back healthy. Dak is not going to have another game like that. He's going to bounce back. Pollard is going to do his thing. So I really think Dallas got this division in the bag. And for Washington, I can see them making the wild card spot if the Eagles keep on falling. Like they did against the Giants, and I'm still pissed about it to this day. I'm going to be mad about that for a while. But it's just like if Washington's defense can help them, that's the key with their defense. So they can honestly get that wild card spot.
Okay. Let me start with you, Coach. So somebody just said Pete Carroll to the Raiders. Now, earlier I did say that if Russ goes, I think Pete Carroll is going to leave as well. I don't think he's going to want to be a part of a full-blown rebuild at this point. So him going to the Raiders, Does that make sense, or do you think there's another team that makes more sense?
Well, it can kind of make sense due to Pete Carroll. He's a winner. He's a Super Bowl champion. Should have been a 2-time Super Bowl champion if it wasn't for the debacle against Marshawn Lynch.
Run the ball.
But basically, if Russell Wilson leaves, then you might and Pete Carroll decides to leave, you might well just blow everything up from the front down and just blow the whole organization up. That's what you might as well do. Russell Wilson is sick and tired of having guys in his face each and every time he snaps the ball. And this Washington football team still got some great defense without Chase Young. If you didn't see these guys last night, man, somebody need to go back and watch these guys because you got guys flying to the football last night. You have Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen in Russell Wilson's face all night long. That secondary even played great against DK Metcalf. So I could definitely see it happen as a possibility. Not gonna say where I can see them at because like I said, I don't like to predict where I want to see these players at, where this player go. But again, that would make sense, man. Pete Carroll's a winner, and he's proven it that he can lead your franchise and be a leader in that locker room. So if I think it's time for Russell Wilson to go, I think it's time for a fresh start for him. I think he wants a fresh start. He complained in the offseason about he went to the front office about I need the offensive line and stuff like that, and it's still not getting any better for Russell Wilson. So if he's gonna go, Pete Carroll's gonna go, you might well just blow the whole thing up.
Yeah, I will say this. Pete Carroll going back to college. I mean, do I think it's gonna happen? No. But I will say this. I do think it's possible. I do think that's a legitimate option with some of the head coach.
The only reason why I don't feel like he would go back to college coaching is the simple fact that he's had such a great success in the NFL. I don't feel like there's a need for him to go back. He's not having a season like out in Jacksonville. He's not, they're 3-8, but he has a resume that shows that he can coach in this league. You know what I'm saying? He has that resume. So I don't feel like it's a need or even a possibility for him. I mean, of course it is a possibility for him to go back down to college coaching, but I just don't see him doing it. I feel like there's enough teams out there who needs a coach if he was to leave Seattle. But that's still in the air. I don't know if the Seattle front office is looking for Pete Carroll to leave if Russell leaves. You know what I'm saying? Pete Carroll, I mean, he's still, if he can get a good, I don't know where they are in draft picks, but if he can get a good quarterback with that tandem or with that a good quarterback, beef up his offensive line, he has a great receiving core. He has a pretty good receiving core. So all he needs is a quarterback. Which, not saying Russell Wilson ain't that quarterback, but being that Russell don't want to be there no more, they would probably have to bring in a new quarterback. Right, bring in a new quarterback and beef up that offensive line to protect whoever that new quarterback is going to be, so that new quarterback can get the ball to those premier players that's on the wideout spot. And if that's the case, I feel like Pete Carroll will be right back in the same boat he was in with Russell Wilson and everybody else when they did go to the Super Bowl twice. So we'll see.
I've said this before. In terms of QBs, this is not a good draft. So if
it's not for QBs.
It's a horrible draft.
Not for QBs.
So, it's good everywhere else. It is great everywhere else, but other than
this
that,
is horrible. Yeah, this is a bad. Yeah, this is a bad draft.
What success has he had though? Real quick, what success did he have though? He only had one Super Bowl run. Ever since he came back to the NFL,
he had 2.
Yeah, he went to Super Bowl twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
He had playoff appearances. He's proved to be a winning head coach. I mean,
about Pete Carroll?
His resume speaks.
Yes, he's proven it.
And not only that, he's had with Russell Wilson, he's had a winning season every year outside of this year. This is going to be the first year that they're going to be have a losing record.
Under 500. Yeah, under 500. Yeah.
So
he's almost in the same boat. He's almost in the same category as Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
The only thing about it, Mike Tomlin just don't have a losing season. That's it.
So far, this season ain't over. This season ain't over. He's on the verge. He's on the verge of having a losing season too. It ain't over.
And we will see what happens. We will see.
Right.
Keeping it with the NFL, I want to update you guys on how the playoff picture looks right now. So, if the season ended today, these would be the 7 teams that would make the AFC. It would be the Ravens number 1, so they would get the bye. The greatest organization to ever grace God's green earth, ran by the greatest head coach to ever wears a little cut-off sleeve hoodie. Former home of the greatest quarterback to ever grace God's green earth. Say it with me now. Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady. He's got a father. We're not talking about him. We're talking about the son, Junior. The New England Patriots. We are number 2. Number 3, the Tennessee Titans. The 4, Greg's beloved Kansas City Chiefs. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. 6, the Buffalo Bills. And 7, the LA Chargers. And outside of that, in terms of looking in, it's real close because the Broncos are 6-5. They're looking in. They're just outside. The Raiders are 6-5. They're just looking in. And the Colts are 6-6, and they're just looking in. Same with the Browns, 6-6. So on those bubble teams, it's looking real close. In terms of the AFC, how you guys? I'm gonna start with you, Mitch. In terms of the AFC, how do you see things panning out so far?
For the AFC, excuse me. For the AFC, is very competitive. You just read off those teams, and I'm like, how are those teams not in the playoffs yet? I'm just like, what the hell? So for me, Tennessee's 3, right? Tennessee's 3, Kansas City's 4, correct? All right. So I guess I'll go with that. So
say it one more time, Mitch. Say it one more time.
Tennessee's 3, Kansas City's 4.
Yep.
So I can honestly see Kansas City is starting to turn it around a little bit. So I feel like they can bump up. And then Tennessee with their injuries, I think they could take a little far back. So maybe 4 or 5 seed I can see. So Kansas City's defense needs to pick it up in a little bit. So Kansas City can bump up.
Yeah, and to your point, the Kansas City defense, it doesn't have to be phenomenal. It doesn't have to be like a top 10 defense.
Oh, no.
All they need to do is be opportunistic. Mm-hmm. All you need to do in those crucial, but kind of how the Tennessee Titans defense is playing. They don't step up every play, but it's those crucial plays where they do what they can to hold it down, and that's all you need to do. Let me throw it over to you, Greg. Clearly, your Chiefs. I'm assuming you believe that they can climb up. But outside of the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills, and the Chargers, those 3 teams are below the Chiefs. Do you think any of them could potentially get on fire and end up going up and being a top 3 seeded team?
The Bengals can, yes. The Bengals can. Joe Burrow, he's having an awesome season. Buffalo. Now, these are 2 crucial matchups that the Bills are going to have with the Patriots coming up.
Yep.
And so if Buffalo can find a way somehow sweep, those matchups, then we're having a different talk. But
right.
Cincinnati, I could see them moving up.
Yep.
I think New England has a real good chance of getting that number 1 seed when it's all said and done. Like I said, their tough games are going to be those 2 Buffalo games, and then playing the Colts. I believe, I believe that's at Indy. If I was looking at that right, so they have an outside chance. Baltimore, we know that Baltimore is good. They looked, it was an ugly win, Sunday, but Baltimore is still Baltimore. The Chiefs are in a good position right now because they have a chance. They can mess up the Raiders' playoff hopes,
yes,
the Broncos' playoff hopes, and the Chargers' playoff hopes in the next couple of weeks. So if the Chiefs can somehow run that table and win all three of these upcoming games, then they're in real good shape. Just like Mitch said, the defense is coming on. Chris Jones, even Frank Clark is starting to get pressure on the quarterback now. He's finally doing something to earn that contract because he wasn't doing nothing the beginning of the season. So, man, the AFC is better than people think. But I still say, if I'm gonna say who's gonna be the number one seed, I'll go with the Patriots when it's all over with. But the Chiefs have an outside shot at that number one if things fall their way.
Okay. Trey, let me swing it over to you.
Yes, sir.
The Chargers have the last seed. They are 6-5.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos, who are just outside of them, are also 6-5. Do you think there's any way that the Chargers? What happened, Bishop?
No, I was saying there's 6 teams in the AFC West that are 6-5: the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos.
What would you like to take my job?
I'm just saying.
Because Bishop, I'm on edge right now, though. My daughter tried to take my job, and now you, Bishop. This is all I got, Bishop.
I'm just speaking facts. That's all I'm doing.
I'm just messing with you. But no, I mean, Bishop, you right. This is stupid close. It is ridiculously close. Like Bishop said, so the Browns 6-6, the Colts 6-6, the Raiders 6-5, the Broncos 6-5, and then the Chargers, who have that last spot in the playoffs, 6-5. So it's all real close. Do you think the Chargers are more likely to fall and lose their spot or climb up in the rankings, Trey?
I believe that they're going to climb up because one team that we wasn't speaking about that is going to start to descend, and those teams from the NFC, from the AFC West are going to start to move up. I think Tennessee's going to fall. They're showing that they have.
I think Mitch said that, right?
Okay,
I said that in the beginning.
Okay, so now I agree with Mitch in that they're going to start to fall, which is going to start to a domino effect, and you're going to get those teams that are going to start to be able to make a play to move up and push them down. So it's starting to show without Henry that Tennessee, that defense it can't do it. They got problems with their receiving core, and it's just going to be a whole debacle for them, which is going to allow a couple of teams to move up and some teams to move in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I do believe by all said and done, I do think the Titans will still make it. I think they'll be either 6th or 7th. A lot of the injuries that they've had, especially obviously losing their best player, and then now all of a sudden the receivers just them and Ryan Tannehill have not been on the same page at all. Bishop, of the teams, so let's say theoretically speaking, next week is the final week of the NFL season, right? The Chargers would have to, they have to win to keep it, to keep their 7th spot. Broncos are behind them. Raiders are behind them. Colts, Browns. What team do you think has the best chance of knocking out the Chargers and taking their spot?
So I'm gonna disagree with Mitch and Trey. I feel like the way the season is going. And in regards to it, when I say I'm disagreeing about the Titans.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what I was assuming. Yeah,
I figured.
Yeah, I feel like the Titans. I get it. They lost their best player on the team, but I feel like they're gonna figure it out. I feel like Tannehill and them gonna figure it out, and they're gonna hold on to that spot. I feel like they're gonna do enough to hold on to that spot. They're gonna find ways to make key position moves, as well as make key plays to get them continue to stay on the top of the AFC South. And with that, I think that's how they're gonna get in and stop the Chargers or anybody else to move themselves even up further than what they already are. Don't get me wrong, I do feel like the Patriots is one. They're on a 6-game winning streak, so I feel like the Patriots are definitely going to be go get the wild card or going to have that first round bye or whatever. But in regards to the Chiefs is playing well. Like I agree with you, Pride. When it comes to the Chiefs, it's not about them having a like you said, a top 10 defense. All you got to do, and this has been the Chiefs for the past few seasons. The biggest thing about the Chiefs, you just got to outscore them. Their defense is gonna allow you to score. You just got to score more points than their offense, and that's just the Chiefs. That's been the Chiefs. And if the Chiefs goes back to that old concept and continues to play like they've been playing with it, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They're you know what I'm saying?
And not to cut you off,
figuring it out.
And not to cut you off, defensively, they're starting to click better. Again, they're not being the best, but they're doing
enough.
They're doing enough so that way
better than what it was.
Exactly. That way, because the problem they were having in the beginning was that the Chiefs offense had to do everything. We had to make sure every single time we touch the ball, we get points on the board. If we punt the ball, we're gonna lose. Like that was the mentality they had. And now the defense is like, look, we'll give you a stop here and there. That's all we can do. And the offense is like, bet if you do that for us, we'll put points on the board. We're winning this game. Yeah, exactly. Right. So
we'll put points on the board. And I think that, I think that's it. And I think that's gonna be the Patriots' biggest competitor is the Chiefs, because when it's all said and done, if the Chiefs keep going in the direction in which they're trending right now, the Chief is going there. There's a good chance that it's going to be the Chiefs and Patriots to top it all off when it's all said and done. And I think the Chiefs has that possibility to outdo the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Again, when it's all said and done, if you could outscore the Chiefs, you can win. But if you cannot, it's a long road for you. Yeah, it's a long
I will say
road
this:
for you.
I'm hoping the Patriots make the Super Bowl, not because of me being biased or anything. I really want to see Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. Like, even if I was a Patriots fan, I would want to see that because
I can see that.
Like, imagine Bill Belichick winning the Super Bowl at the expense of Tom Brady, or Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl at the expense of Bill Belichick. I feel like that
would go down in history as one of the biggest Super Bowls. Yeah. Just because of what's at stake. Yeah.
We was hyping up Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick in the regular season. Imagine the Super Bowl. Oh my, bro, that thing was selling itself.
You talking about that probably would get the biggest ratings of people watching the Super Bowl ever.
Probably because just because that storyline is
just that storyline.
It's just perfect, bro. Yeah, like Dre said, Luke versus Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I don't know who's Luke. I don't know who's Luke. I even go, I'm gonna keep it a sacrosanct, bro. If y'all ever watched Star Wars, if y'all ever saw Star Wars, right? Has anyone here ever seen Star Wars?
Yeah, that's classic.
Okay, so remember when Luke is fighting Darth Vader and Darth Sidious is in the background cooling like a villain, bro? And then he starts zapping Luke, and then Darth Vader just all of a sudden, that's what it's like. It's Darth Vader versus Darth Sidious. That's all it really is. You feel me? Like it's not much, but it's basically two evil mode.
But I mean that's a perfect way to compare it. Perfect way to compare it. That is.
He said Hulk versus Andre. I like that one. I actually like. By the way, if y'all don't know, it's Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
it's a wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Oh, I thought he was talking about the real Hulk. He talking about the real.
No, not him.
Okay.
Another acceptable answer would have been Hulk Hogan versus Randy Macho Man Savage, or the Macho Man Randy Savage. I also would have accepted that. I would have accepted that. But
would you accept Stone Cold and The Rock? Would you accept that?
Stone Cold and The Rock.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, as anything outside of John Cena versus Randy Orton, I think I'll accept. Swear to God. I'll take Mitch, and you watch wrestling, you know what I'm about to talk about. I'll take fucking Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Swear to God. I'll take that shit over fucking Cena.
Did you say versus The Miz?
I'll take The Miz and Dolph Ziggler over John Cena or Randy Orton. Swear to God. Swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of
how about John Cena and Edge?
Oh, that's acceptable. I will take that. I will take that when freaking Cena threw him in the Long Island Sound. Oh my God, bro! I wish I was a kid.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I wish I was a kid.
I mean, I can talk about wrestling all day.
If that Super Bowl matchup does happen, that'll also set the record for the shortest post-game hug / handshake ever Also.
What? Yo, fat. What up,
Yeah,
Mike?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because we know how
Mike?
Bill is.
What's up,
You know how
Bill?
Bill he quick to give you your props or say whatever and be gone.
Yeah,
Before you know it, Bill is already in the
That's
locker room. Like,
That's
he's
it.
like,
Fact.
did
You want to have a conversation?
he wave at him across the field? Like,
Right, yeah.
What did you do? Like, Bill already in the locker room giving press conferences. Like, damn, Bill, did you even get him in some props or
You know who used to do that to all the time? Eric Mangini. When Eric used to be with the coach, and then he went and took the Jets job, and he was just like, get out of my face, I hate you. We were friends, you broke my heart. Like,
but do you blame him with the Jets?
That's how it's gonna be with him
him?
and Tom. Yeah, what? Come on, fam. I said I knew Eric Mangini was eventually gonna leave. I just think that Bill Belichick, he thought it in the back of his head, but I think he was like, he'll at least give me a common courtesy. And I think Bill Belichick thing was he didn't give me a common courtesy until he took the job, left, took some of the coaching staff, then he fucking texts Bill talking about, and he got tight, and then there was the whole cheating accusation that Eric Mangini threw out there too. So
Yeah, that's Mike.
That kind of what made it even worse. Bye, Mike.
I didn't even see Mike at first. Oh.
Hey, man. Nah, man, I'm just at school, bro. I'm just chilling.
That's what's up, Mike.
You a child. You're a child.
Hey, Mike, I heard. Man? Hey, Mike, I heard rumors that Justin Fields might be heading to Seattle. I'm just messing with you, bro.
With it. Yo, Mike
I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. I ain't heard nothing like that. I'm just
that was great. I gotta use that on Gooey.
I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. I just want to see.
Yo, look at my. He's still doing it.
I just wanted to see your face, bro. I just wanted to see your face.
Look at it.
Y'all have a good day now.
Oh my God.
I feel so bad.
Mike still said, if this happens, how will Bill cheat to get the win? Sorry, I'd have to ask. Look, man, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. All right? We lie, we cheat, we steal. I'm telling you.
Okay, they're not Eddie Guerrero here.
Let me ask you this real quick, Pride. So if they were to go into the Super Bowl, the Patriots and the Buccaneers, Mike, who would have the advantage? Bill Belichick or Tom Brady?
I'll be honest. I don't think anyone has the advantage anymore.
Really?
Not neither one of them?
I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because if you watch Bill Belichick, he's changing a little bit the way he's running the defense. And he started changing it after the Buccaneers loss. That's something people aren't really paying attention to. Bill Belichick is now trying out different things. He's trying out different schematics here and there to try to test stuff and see how far he can go. And he's starting to do that. And I genuinely believe, and I said this before, and I got killed. When I saw that, I said, something tells me Bill Belichick is doing this because he wants to make the Super Bowl and he wants to meet Tom, and he's making the adjustments now. I said that, and people killed me talking about they're not even going to be 500. Yes. And I'm like, look, the way he's coaching, I don't know. It's like he's coaching with this edge, with this. I don't know. It's something weird that he kind of wants to be different. However, I think even if he makes the differences, Tom Brady is going to end up kind of seeing through it a little bit. And then at the same time, the reason I say it's going to negate is because I genuinely believe 110% that when it comes to playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, man, something tells me they're going to run the ball. I have a gut feeling that they're going to try running the ball and then try utilizing the play action. You know what I mean? To the point where it's not
Patriots
even
really, or the Patriots or the Bucs?
It's not the Bucs. I'm talking about the Bucs.
Okay.
Like, I mean, obviously the Patriots are going to utilize the play action, of course, but I'm talking about the Patriots. I just genuinely, wholeheartedly feel, I just feel that I don't know. Me personally, I don't think it's going to be an advantage. I think they already had the advantage. I think with Bill Belichick, had been like playing against Tom, I think he's kind of getting over it a little bit. You know what I mean? So if it was the first time, I would say Brady. But the fact that now Bill Belichick is starting to change some stuff, he basically changed enough where the playing field is neutral. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of doing these things where instead of it just being Tom, now it's like, you know what? It's like Tom playing Pete Carroll or Tom playing Mike Tomlin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's just how I look at it. A lot of people are saying that Tom Brady has the advantage because he won the matchup of the regular season. Right. If you want to say that, I won't disagree with you. I won't, but that's a slippery slope because remember last year, if I'm mistaken, Tampa Bay played the Saints twice. Tampa Bay lost to the Saints twice. Yeah. Highlight me what happened in the playoffs. So that's kind of where, it
can go either way.
Right.
Yeah. That's why when people say, "Oh yeah, regular season," I'm like, okay, I understand, but you also got to be careful with that. That's not the end all be all because a lot of teams like Tampa, if you catch them at a bad time and then they get everything clicking, now it's a whole different story. So in terms of me, that's how I look at it. Coach, let me ask you one question. Your favorite team, the team that you grew up idolizing and watching, this is the guy you say is the best quarterback ever. That's what you told me. You told me that. You told me this that one day at that time. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 5-5-1. Do you believe that? do you
I gotta use that more often.
Do you believe that your franchise, your organization, led by your fearless head coach Mike Tomlin and a Big Ben Roethlisberger,
yeah.
Yo, he not even let me finish. He's like that. Do you think there's any chance at all, that they can somehow make the playoffs?
It's always a chance that anybody, as long as you in it, and you in the thick of things, there's always will be a chance. But if you asking me, will they make it? I don't think they would. I think Big Ben is just, after the performance last weekend, nothing tells me that they would. They just got flat out dominated. The defense, the secondary has always been average. Big Ben, I think this needs to just be his last year. His arm just completely ran out of bullets. Claypool is not stepping up. Claypool is not stepping up. Juju Smith-Schuster pretty much won it. Antonio Brown, he's nowhere to be found. They're not giving enough touches to Najee Harris. I just think it's time. I just think it's time for Big Ben, time to for another quarterback. But there's always a chance. But like I said again, I don't think they will. I don't see them even making it after what happened. The performance, what happened Sunday, and it was just a total obliteration Sunday by the Cincinnati Bengals in assault.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, it's look. I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh. I'm not.
Pittsburgh is pretty much in the same boat as Seattle. Pride.
I'll be honest with you. I think they're worse.
You think so?
I think so. And the reason I think they're worse is because if you trade Russ, you can get something.
Oh, you think it's because of Ben? Nothing for Ben.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
You can't get anything for Ben.
That's kind of my issue because the thing is, and here's the question: after you leave Ben, you're now stuck with Mason Rudolph, whose career highlight of his pathetic career is not Jason. I was about to say Jason. Myles Garrett hitting him in the head with his own helmet. And then in between, though, that's the intro and outro. And in between is a 5-second picture of his head Photoshop of the death. That's all we know about him. And then Dwayne Haskins. We make jokes and we clown about Dennis Schroeder fumbling his bag. Dwayne Haskins fumbled his career. He fumbled his career.
You're not wrong.
See, I beg to differ on that. He hasn't had an opportunity. Yeah, because Schroeder played and he messed up the bag through his talking. Haskins still has an opportunity to resurrect his career if he gets an opportunity. So I think Haskins still has an opportunity, a chance, if he is that quarterback or any a smidget or anything resemblance of why he was a top draft pick. even though his resume wasn't too far put on display at Ohio State. I think he still has an opportunity. It's not a done deal for him yet.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. I think he's done at this point. I really do. Now, excuse me. I get why you're saying he hasn't had the opportunity. I understand, because you're not wrong for saying that. I understand it. My thing is, right here, right now, matter of fact, going into next year, I do not see any of these guys being trusted. And, I want to say this without being mean, but I'm just going to say mean. They're fucking dog shit, both of them. They're not. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Coming out with it, huh?
I'm just keeping it a buck. Any other team, they don't even make the practice squad. This is the future.
You talking about Haskins?
Haskins and Rudolph. I'm talking about both of them. I'm talking
about the Saints.
This is the thing. I don't disagree.
No,
I disagree. I disagree.
You would rather have Trevor Siemian over Haskins.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. And after I say this, I'm gonna let you go, Bishop. I'd have Trevor Siemian with a torn ACL, with the arm of an old Drew Brees, and the interception rate of Jameis Winston in Tampa, than to even think about even considering the opportunity to even bring in for an interview Mason Rudolph. I'm gonna put it to you like that.
I thought you meant Haskins. I was like, wait, what?
Mason Rudolph.
I can understand Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph.
I don't agree with Trey in regards. But I don't agree with Trey in regards to saying that Haskins ain't had an opportunity. Haskins had his opportunity when he was in Washington, and he fumbled it.
Right.
He fumbled it bad.
So okay, let me correct
he
you.
Had his opportunity.
He had his opportunity
to show what he could do, and he couldn't.
So what I'm saying is so his resurrection was getting picked up by Pittsburgh. I'm saying he hasn't had the opportunity to show that was just a assist. Yeah, because you got to think about it. Was Rivera the coach when he was in Washington?
I don't think so. I think he might have had. I think he might have had Haskins maybe a season. Maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
So I think I'm saying
Rivera's only been there. What, 2
3
seasons?
3 years.
2 or 3 seasons, right? Yeah, 2 or 3 seasons now. 2.
So
he might.
Have,
I think this is third.
Yeah, I think Rivera might have caught in the tail end of him.
Yeah, I think this is his third season in Washington. Rivera's. So I want to say he might have caught. Yeah, like I said, I want to say he caught Haskins on his last.
Yes, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I just looked it up. He was with Ron Rivera right before he got traded.
What was Haskins' record? What was Haskins' record?
I'll tell you right now. I'll look up.
That's what I thought.
By the way, Dwayne has always been a weird name for me because I look at it and it's like just the B and then Wayne, right? So I just every time I say it, I feel like you're supposed to have emphasis and go Dwayne, like. But then I always feel like I'm being sassy when I say it, so I just go.
Would you say the same thing for Dwayne Wade? Same thing?
Yes. Yeah. Just if it's D Wayne, I feel like the way I'm supposed to say it, I'm supposed to put emphasis on the D. Like I'm supposed to be like a sassy receptionist, like Dwayne. You know what I mean? So in Washington, because he was with them for about a year and a half? Yeah, about a year and a half. So his first year, he only started 7 games. He went 2-5.
2-5.
The next year, 6 games, and he went 1-5.
1-5, so 3-8, 3-10.
Yes, so about 3-10. His stats, his completion percentage, 58.6. And again, the reason I don't mean to come real down on Dwayne Haskins because again, he's only 2 years. A lot of guys, we kind of got to give him. I always say this: give them the full contract and see how they are. You know what I mean? Outside of Mason Rudolph, you're dog shit and you're a waste. You're a waste of a roster spot. I don't care what anyone says. Like this kid is horrendous. Jason Stidham or Dwayne Haskins? I'm gonna take Stidham. I'll take Stidham. That's just me. I'm gonna take Stidham, and the only reason I'm gonna take Stidham is because Bill Belichick sees something in him. If Bill Belichick sees something in you, I'm not going to question him at all.
I wouldn't either.
I'm
that's
not
coming from an Eagles fan who beat him in the Super Bowl.
He's right more times than he is wrong, so I'm not going to question him. But my thing with Pittsburgh, I don't know, man. Where they're at, I don't know. They have a good.
What's their record? What's Pittsburgh's record?
Right now, they're 5-5-1.
Oh, I forgot they tied. Okay,
Yeah,
when you tie the Lions,
you don't deserve it.
You're done.
I'm with you. And by the way, when they tied Detroit, do you happen to know who was quarterback for that game? Mason
Rudolph.
Denthead Rudolph. I'm gonna call him Denthead from now on. Swear to God.
Oh my God.
So that's just me. I'm not really a Mason Rudolph fan. If you want to give Dwayne Haskins an opportunity, sure. But other than that,
yeah, I figured they seen something because at that point, yeah.
No, we're not. They're not going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be a Lions fan until they get a win. That's my secondary team now. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was my secondary team because of Tom Brady. We're gonna bump down to third. Right now, my Lions are my secondary team. I'm screaming, "Go Lions!" Jared Goff is the GOAT. Dan Campbell's a phenomenal head coach. Swift is the best running back in the league. I'm being cornball. I'm cornball mode activate. So,
me and my buddy went through their schedule today.
Yeah, I will say this before we move on. It's just the way I'm looking at it. They're in a tough position, and that's kind of the best way I can really describe it. Because again, once Big Ben leaves, and already Big Ben he doesn't have much. Once he leaves, the $1 million question is going to really come up: who's going to take over the mantle? And unfortunately, I don't know what they're gonna. They don't have much to do. They're almost in a situation where they're gonna have to rebuild. Like Bishop said, they're kind of the same situation as Seattle, where they might have to just do a full-blown rebuild, get rid of T.J. Watt, Chase Claypool. They're gonna have to probably get rid of everybody just to try to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. But like I said, I think Seattle's in a better position just because they can get more out of Russ. But that remains to be seen. Oh, excuse me. Right now, gentlemen, I want you guys. I'm gonna start with you, Coach. I want y'all to give me your top 5 teams in the NFL. If you are I want y'all to give me your power rankings, 5-1. I'm gonna start with you, Coach Dante.
I need to pull up the records.
Yeah, that's what I need to do right quick so I can know easily what's popping up.
I'm gonna start with you, Trey.
Go ahead, Trey.
All right, top 5.
Yes, sir.
NFL.
Yes, sir.
So I'll start off with number 5. I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Even though they're number 1 team in the NFC, like we've talked about. Correction, no, let me dial that back. I'm gonna do this. Number 5, I'm gonna go with New England. I think New England is on number 5. I'm gonna go with New England. I think New England, even though they're number 2 in the AFC, I think they have an opportunity. They're showing. Bill Belichick is showing that all he needs is a little time and a little talent, and he's gonna make something happen. So you can't take that away. Now I will go Baltimore at number 4. My man Lamar Jackson. He's showing some chinks, I know we talked about it yesterday. I'm not doubting him. I still think that he's a tremendous talent and that he has some promise. But of course, as we all know, when you have a little talent, you are not able to do everything on the gridiron. So Baltimore is my number 4. Number 3, at this point, I'm gonna say it's Tampa Bay. Your man Tom.
Your list is invalid because the Patriots are not 1 and Tom Brady is not number 2. It's invalid, I say.
so you have Tom. I mean, he is who he is, and Tampa Bay is currently the defending NFL champions. So I don't want to take too much from them, but I think it is his time. I don't foresee this year being a year which they win the Super Bowl, but I mean, crazier things have happened.
Right.
If Freddie was on right, man.
Oh my God, he'll kill you for this one. I already know.
You would hear say, and you hear him say, he's a bad man. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Green Bay. Although that's right now, I don't foresee that being at the end of the season because they're still without their top
But
runner.
we're not talking about the future. We're just talking about
Correct.
right
Okay,
now.
I got you correct. Yeah. So right now, that's what I got. Green Bay at number 2, and then until they are no longer the top team in the NFL, even though I hate to say it, Arizona at number 1.
Okay.
All right. So number 5, I got Baltimore at number 5. The struggle that they had against Cleveland. Lamar Jackson got to prove that he can beat people in the pocket, which is he hasn't proven it not one time yet, that he can stand in the pocket and be accurate and make plays when he need to. He's a run first quarterback. That's what I'm saying. He's not up there with the elite quarterbacks in the league.
Can't say that. It's logical.
Nah, I can say that he's not up there with the elite quarterbacks in the league.
No, that's serious.
I mean, I'm just saying he's an athlete. He's an athlete type dude. He's an athlete type dude. He goes by his athleticism. He's a guy that you can put him at running back and he probably will be fine. He probably will just be fine. The way he's just that athletic. You can put him at receiver. He probably still would be good. He's just that athletic of a player. So them is at number 5. Number 4, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers. Number 3, I got the New England Patriots. Number 2, I got the Arizona Cardinals at number 2. And number 1, I got the Green Bay Packers at number 1 right now.
Oh, wow. All right.
Real
quick, Mitch, before I let you go, this is somebody's top 5. Cincinnati Bengals at 5, Dallas at 4, Patriots at 2, Patriots at 3, Buccaneers at 2, Green Bay at 1. The only issue, I mean, having Cincy at 5, I don't that doesn't really faze me. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of fringe teams at 5. Dallas, they're like on a two game losing streak?
Yeah.
Something like that. So for me, they're not even out. But again, when I said it, Price is hitting on the Cowboys. I say it now, all of a sudden, those same idiots who was mad that I said that, all of a sudden.
Wait, what'd you say? I didn't catch that.
No, because I said a few shows ago, I said that I didn't have the Cowboys in my top 5. That's how we did the rankings, and somebody got mad. They got mad at me, and I was like, "Look, bro, I'm telling you this right now. I don't even know if they're gonna be, like later down the road. I don't even know if they're even gonna be a top 10 team."
I respect that. Not just an Eagles fan, but I just respect that.
And I said that. Trey, when did we do the last one? The last thing. It's probably like what?
Right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving, they go on a losing streak. Now all of a sudden, the conversation's not fun with Pride no more. I told everybody, I'm like, look, I'm telling y'all, we get in the middle of the season, wheels gonna fall off, and all of a sudden they're gonna start losing games, and no one's gonna have an explanation. No, you're just hating. I'm telling you. No, you're just hating. You've seen this movie before. No, you're just hating. I know how it's gonna end. No, you're just hating. Now it happened, and all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk to Pride no more. Nobody wants to talk to Pride anymore. I just find it funny.
They in bad shape too. Dallas in bad shape at the wrong time. They got 8 players, possibly the offense on the COVID protocol. They may have a long road now. So there's a chance for Washington.
Yeah.
Yep. They have 8 the coach and 8 players, and most of them on offense. Most of the players on offense.
Mike McCarthy. I think the only person that they know right now is Ezekiel Elliott, because Jerry Jones came out and said, "Look, we're gonna Augustus Ace will run the ball." So, that's gonna be.
I was gonna have Dallas at 5. Now I want to change it.
I'm telling you, but right now, I don't even know if they're even. I don't even know where I even have them. Like, I think I can name like 10 teams out that should at least 10 that should be over.
Okay,
I don't even think it's close. Like,
I respect that.
You know what I mean? So
for me, I get the Ravens at 5, just because I didn't watch the game Sunday night. I didn't watch the game, but Lamar Jackson threw how many?
4.
3 in 1 quarter. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 in the span of like 3 minutes.
Because he threw 2 of them on back-to-back possessions. He threw 2 of them on 2 possessions.
Yes.
Oh my god. For that, they're 5. Sorry, they're 5. But yeah, I gotta have Patriots higher than 4. I don't have the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are higher for me. It's just hard to pick a 4th. You know what? I got the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs at 4. I really like the Chiefs. What's going on with them right now? So 5, I have the Ravens. 4, the Chiefs. 3, I have. Dang, this is really tough for me. 3, I got the Buccaneers. 2, I got the Cardinals, and 1, I got Packers. So Buccaneers, Cardinals, Packers.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to put the Chiefs at 5. I think they're starting to go up, and they're trending in the right direction. At 4, I'm gonna put Tampa. They stopped the 2-game losing streak. I do have a little bit of concerns with their injury, but I think they're doing just enough to keep the boat steady. By the way, this is gonna be the most biased list. Y'all gonna find out why in a minute. I got the Packers at 3.
Shoot.
I got the Packers at 3. Look, the Packers, they just, and I said this earlier, even though the score was relatively close, I think it was like 38 to like 26, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the game, it felt like at some point the Rams were down like 4 touchdowns. It was brutal. It was bad. 2 got the Arizona Cardinals. I don't care about them. Number 1, the greatest organization to ever grace God's green earth. I'm telling you right now. Matter of fact, it's the fanboy in me. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. Number 1, the New England Patriots. I've been telling people, relax. It's gonna click. Our floor is the wild card. Our ceiling is the division champs. I've been saying that. Nah, Pride, you're an idiot. Trust me, Bill Belichick will figure it out. Nah, Pride, you don't know what you're talking about. Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback. No, he's not. Okay, who's better? Trevor Lawrence is better because he's got longer hair. But no, Mac
He's
Jones
overrated.
is better. Well, Justin Fields looks cooler, so he's better. No, he's not. Well, Zach Wilson has the cool headband, so he has to be better. No. Trey Lance, he doesn't even start. So, I've been saying this. I love Mac Jones. That is my guy. He won me over when he drafted him. He did the power walk. When he did that power walk, I was like, that's my quarterback. I was like, T.O., I was about to start crying. I'm going to put shades on and I was about to.
Wait, did he walk like Vince McMahon?
No. So the way he, I don't know if I can show videos. I don't think so. Whenever y'all have a minute, just look up Mac Jones getting traded by the Patriots. That's all you got to do.
Getting drafted?
Yes, just getting drafted. Okay. And he walked with this strut like my daddy will sue you. And when I saw that strut, I was like, fuck yeah, you're my guy. I was like, that's my guy right there. The way, I don't know, just the way he walked with such bravado and confidence. And he was the last quarterback, like of all the quarterbacks who was like vaunted and like talked about. He was the last one. And even though he was the last one, he was still walking with courage and conviction. And just like, I'm good. I don't care. I landed in the best situation. So it's like 110%. That is my guy.
So on yesterday's show, I made a prediction that next week when the Chiefs play the Denver Broncos, I said that both teams will not score more than 20 points. Okay. The winning team will be Kansas City, but both teams will not score more than 20 points. Dill, who's the co-host of the Football Frenzy over here on the ASAP Network, he goes, No, I think Broncos are going to pull the upset. Denver's
honestly, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for feeling that way. I mean, I disagree. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but But I do get why, because he's not the only like a fair amount of people are saying that Denver will win.
And a non-ASAP group chat that I'm in, somebody said, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Dell over here. I think that Denver's going to win 17-14.
Wow. I don't think it's going to be that low scoring. At least for the Chiefs, anyway. I don't think it will be that bad.
What's the
I have
average?
Chiefs winning that. I have Chiefs winning at 19-13.
So 19.5 over under. I'm going over for the Chiefs. I'm going over. Or no, yeah, because you said no more than 20, right?
No more than 20. I don't think either team is going to score more than 20 points.
I'm gonna take the up on that for now because I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be the case. But we'll find out. I do think that's gonna be a good game though.
I mean, the Broncos lost to the Eagles.
The Eagles have been. I don't want to say legit, but outside of last week,
they look good.
They've been looking good lately. Outside of last week was horrible.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think they've been pretty good. But moving on, let's look at the NBA. Last night was Jesus Christ. Last night was some bad games. I think we all said that, right, Trey? I think most of us were in agreement that it was going to be kind of I don't want to say it's because I don't want to be mean, but at the end of the day, if it's a bad day, it's a bad day. Sixers beat the Magic 101-96. Nuggets beat the Heat. By the way, Jokic's brothers pulled up.
Yeah, I seen them.
Fans were booing him, thinking, "Oh my God, it's gonna bother him." Jokic after the game, I played in Serbia. Like, you think these boos fade me, bro? Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was catching glimpses of this game. I don't know. The Miami Heat players. All I'm saying, they didn't look right. That's all I'm saying. All I know is they did not look like they wanted no parts whatsoever of Jokic. I just want to throw that out there. The Rockets beat the Thunder 102-89. Timberwolves. Let's go. The Timberwolves barely beat the Pacers 198. Bulls beat the Hornets 133-119. Spurs over Wizards 116-199. By the way, the Wizards are goated. Cavaliers beat the Mavs 114-96, which low-key surprised me. The Jazz beat Dante's team, the Portland Trailblazers, 129-107. and the last game was the Pelicans beating the Clippers 123-104. Trey, let me start with you.
Vachunas hot.
Oh
a hot hand.
Yo, 7 for 7.
Hot
in
hand.
The first half. My guy was like, Steph, who? Come on now. Do better. I was like, whoa. I didn't even know Jonas could shoot like that. When he took the first shot, I was like, Jonas, what are you doing? Because I was watching a few games.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, like it was like something that like alert had came on my phone. And they were like, oh my God, Jonas Valanciunas, he's on fire already. They said how he made like 3 in a row or whatever. And somebody was like, let's see how far he goes. So I checked in. He shot another one. I was like, what are you doing? Splash? My bad. How dare I question you? I was like, matter of fact, do one more. Hit another one. Wow. I was like, oh, what the hell?
He started
heat checking himself and he was still making. I'm like, hey, yo, 7 for 7? I'm like, yeah, yo.
7 for 8.
Yeah, he ended up 7 for 8?
Yeah.
God, yo, that was crazy. I know in the halftime, they were like, yo. I was like, yo, because I was like, how many threes did he make? I actually pulled it up. And he went 7 for 7 in the first half. And I was like, come on. I was like, come on, Jonas. That's not really you, my guy. That's not really you. But let me throw to you, Trey.
Yes, sir.
Were there any forget surprises?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any good games?
So from the scores of what you said, I mean, you can say basically a 98-100 game, Pacers against Timberwolves. Like we talked about yesterday, briefly, Timberwolves have been a hot team. They're pushing for us if the playoffs would start right now, where they would be in the playoffs or they'd be in a play-in game, which of course that wasn't expected at the beginning of the season. Besides that, the rest were blowouts for the most part. But shout out to Coach Dante. The Rockets, what's that? Three game winning streak. Look at that.
Hey.
So you know, saying the Rockets is doing what they can. I would say that between those, just based on the fact that it was close games. Everywhere else was a blowout, except for maybe the Magic and 76ers, which is surprising because
it should have been that close.
Yeah, I would have thought the 76ers would have gave a little more of a thrashing, but the Magic made it a game.
Yeah. Bishop, your dog shit Brooklyn Nets. My bad. That's on me. I was thinking about something else. My bad. I'm sorry.
I need you to get it out your system, whatever it is you was thinking about. I need you to get it out your system.
My bad. No, I was just, you know, my bad. I was thinking about the Ducks, Oklahoma. Soon. My bad. Sorry. I'm being a clown. I apologize. Bishop, your Brooklyn Nets didn't play, so was there any game that you paid attention to?
So
wait, hold on. You want more?
Yeah, of course. Bring it on. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. I just want all the smoke. I'm just saying, I want all the smoke. Bring it on. We didn't play last night, but we do got the Knicks tonight. So we got the Knicks tonight. But the game that
Kemba Walker.
No, trust me. I'm about to touch on that.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, sir.
What?
Kemba Walker.
Oh, so Tom Thibodeau pulled Kemba Walker out of the rotation completely. Alec Burks is now going to be the starting point guard. He's taking over, and he's out of the rotation completely. It's a jaw wall 2.0.
All because of the trade thing.
Well, coach,
but he hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been playing well at all.
Kemba to Houston. What did he do?
That's the rumors. That's the rumors.
I mean,
that's why I asked.
In New York.
That's why I asked.
I mean, it depends on Kemba. Right now, if Kemba pulled up out of the rotation, I can accept it, and Kemba's gonna have to prove that he can still play in this league. So basically, by you getting pulled up out of the lineup, and then him not as being as aggressive as he normally be, and him struggling, maybe being with a young team, being a veteran leader in the locker room, something that we probably have and we need more of. Maybe this could show Kemba Walker playing with Houston. Maybe this will show people that, hey, I still can play. I'm still Kemba Walker if I'm healthy. But right now, I don't think it should be that far for him being out of the rotation. I get he not playing well, but Kemba Walker still can put up points. He still can create his own shots, as I seen when he did it against us. So again, hey, that might be the move. That might be the move. I wouldn't be mad at it, but the problem: do we want to play for a contender, a playoff contender? That's the problem. That's the problem. He might want to be with a contender. He might not want to be with a rebuild, and his career is winding down. So he might want to be with a contender. So, you know, that's the problem with Kemba Walker.
Yeah, I talked about this yesterday on my show with my boy Mike. We were talking about not Mike from here, another Mike, and we were talking about it. And Kemba Walker, unfortunately, he can't fill any role that the Knicks had because they never gave him a role. When they brought him in, they didn't tell him you're going to be a role player. They just brought him in and they assumed, oh, he's smart. He'll know he got to fit in. And Kemba Walker was like, this is a good team. You're just in the playoff. They might think I'm a missing piece. So they immediately started on two separate pages. And Kemba Walker, yeah, his efficiency is going down from the floor, but he's shooting 41% from three. So I'm like, if you guys can just say, you know what, it is what it is, we'll make you a shooter. Now the problem is they can't trade him until December 15th. He has a trade restriction until the 15th, which is why they're not, you know, talking to anybody in terms of trying to trade him. That's why they're just pulling him. Because a lot of people wonder why they pulling him out of the rotation. He until December 15th. That's when they can forget trading. That's when they can start talking. Because if they talk before that, that's considered tampering. So so that's what's going on with Kemba. I feel bad for him because I always hear he's a great guy. You know, like I've never heard anyone ever come out and say a bad thing about Kemba Walker. It sucks, but that's just what happens when they don't give you a role. When they
You know what's funny though? When he was with the Hornets, Like, he was getting all these all-star games, like 50-point games, but he wasn't getting the recognition. Now, when he gets to New York, big spotlight, they yank him out.
That's how it is. And he hasn't been playing well. I feel bad for him. And on top of it, we also got to remember, Tom Thibodeau is
I'm going to troll the Knicks fans like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
So if you're giving him no defense, he already is willing to pull you. Now, if you're giving him no offense on top of that, you're just begging to be pulled. Anthony Price said, "What's the news on John Wall?" So far on John Wall, they're still trying to figure out. They still don't want him back. The problem is they want John Wall.
Right now, they're discussing if John the plan is for John Wall. They're discussing between John Wall considered getting back on the court with the Rockets. That's what the discussion was about. Him and Raphael Stone sitting down and discussing the media about getting on the court. Right now, I don't know what it stands, but for the articles I read, that it seems like John Wall, probably may get on the court or may not, but that's what they were talking about. I guess it can increase his trade value by him playing on the court and showing other teams that he can really play. He very much can still play. He got better from three last year at 33% from three. That's by far his best shooting three-point percentage in his career. And like I say, for these guys not to be playing, sometimes you need to play to increase your trade value. So a playoff team can probably take a chance on you and stuff like that. So right now, from what I heard in the last couple of days, it's considered John Wall and considering playing, but I don't know what's the update right now. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah, and the main issue between them is John Wall doesn't want to come off the bench. He
doesn't want to come off the bench because they made it be clear that we rebuilding through Kevin Porter and Jalen Green, so he don't want to accept the bench role, and he still feel like he's a starter in this league. So that's the problem. If he doesn't want to take a bench role,
Do you feel like he's still a starter?
Yeah, I think he can start for another team, not the Rockets. Not the Rockets.
Yeah,
not the Rockets.
He could start, but he's not going to be the focal guy.
Yeah, he's not going to be, because while we rebuild, they made it be known. We rebuilding between Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. So it's no, if he doesn't want to accept the bench role, there's no need to keep sending him out. Just keep sending him out. He sent him out, but I still think he can be a capable starter though. He still can be capable. He still got it.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Real quick before we take a quick break, NBA today, Grizzlies at Raptors. The Nets will host the Knicks. Lakers will go to the Kings to probably take another L. Sorry, Trey. Pistons at Dante's team, the Trailblazers, and the Warriors versus the Suns.
What time is that game at?
That game is at 10 p.m. my time. So where do you live? Oh, no, you're in Philly, right?
I'm in Jersey, yeah.
You're in Jersey? Yeah, so 10 o'clock.
All right.
10 o'clock is that. That right there, I mean, I think that goes without saying. Obviously, probably the only one who's going to say anything is Bishop. He's going to say that the Nets and the Knicks are the game to watch.
No,
Trey's
the Warriors. No, the Warriors.
Kings as the second coming of Golden State. But we got the real Golden State playing the Suns. That's my game.
Yeah, that's going to be the game. The Suns and the Warriors is going to be the game. Because the Warriors is going to try to stop that win streak for Phoenix. We're not worried about the Lakers. The Lakers, we know the Lakers are what the Lakers are. They are what they say what we said they were. You know, the Lakers.
And we let them off the hook.
They're playing Sacramento, and they probably gonna struggle with Sacramento anyway.
They gonna go to overtime. Yo, they gonna go to triple overtime just to lose. Womp womp. Like, come on, what do you do that at? Like, yo, Trey, come on, look, Trey, look.
Yeah,
my Celtics, bro, we've been inconsistent, bro. So if I could make fun of
we're against you tomorrow. Sixers are against you tomorrow.
Who do we play tomorrow?
Sixers.
But that's an easy dub for us. That's easy.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
Wow.
That's easy. Matter of fact, this is going to be the first time in NBA history that any team beats another team, not by single digits, not by triple digits.
Stop. Okay, now you're trolling.
What are we talking about? I'm kidding.
Now you're trolling.
I'm just. I think it's going to be a game. Celtics and Sixers. I think that'll be.
Who's going to guard Embiid? Horford?
No, know what we're probably gonna do is let Embiid do whatever the fuck he wants, and because we don't have an interior presence. Let's call it what it is. We don't have an interior presence, so we're probably let Embiid do whatever he wants, and we're gonna try to probably shut down everybody else. That's like our best chance of like getting a win. That is our best chance, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, but to go back to the Warriors real quick,
Yes,
Klay Thompson and James Wiseman are in the G League.
Yes, sir. Yup, they're in the center. Yeah, they're gonna be there for a couple weeks. If I'm not mistaken, they're bringing both of them up to the roster at the same time. So James Wiseman and Klay are gonna be up at the same time, barring any setbacks. Mr. Yusuf said Lincoln Riley will be sitting courtside at Lakers. Yo, he already has an interview out there. He's gonna be on the herd with Colin Cowherd. He's already gonna be there.
Let's get it.
My guy.
Welcome to LA, Rick Lincoln.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Ooh, if I was Joel, I would start looking for another team. Not yet. I would see what they pull in for Ben Simmons. If it's not good enough, then I consider it. But right now, I'm kind of in a wait and see mode because you never really know. But we still got some MLB talk and a little bit of college, and we'll be right back after this quick break.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we're making up plays. You're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
You can find all that great merchandise at ASAPnetwork.com or ASAPSportsNetwork.com. Go buy some stuff and wear it, and then also send us pictures so that way we can showcase all the nice merch you fine ladies and gentlemen have bought. MLB moves. Javi Baez just got a great 6-year deal. God, I wish I was a baseball player. Obviously, Max Scherzer got a 3-year deal, $100 million plus. Now, the big name out there that's still waiting, somehow, Carlos Correa. I don't know. I'm assuming you guys are very upset with Carlos Correa. Probably because he's still mad about the whole cheating thing that happened, eons and eons ago. Ladies and gentlemen, get the fuck over it. Trey, I want to start with you. First of all, before we even talk Carlos Correa, all these mega deals that are being thrown out, like, what is good with it?
It's so what we all know, baseball has more longevity than any other sport. These big deals, 10-year deals so when you do the average, it averages out to be no, actually it doesn't. It's just tremendous. Like, man, this is crazy. If baseball definitely pays for your value, in which it seems more like what certain teams in the NFL try to do, play exactly for their value. 10 years, 32 million a year, be with the same team. They control the rights for the most part. It's crazy. Like these contracts that get doled out in baseball every year. Scherzer with the 3 years, 130 million, like over 40 million a year. Like, if you're valuable and you show your value, you're going to get it in baseball. And any organization, because they don't have a cap, is willing to pay. That's the sport to go into.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said it right on the head, there's no cap.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why, because a lot of people are confused. Why are we seeing, sometimes we can see with no cap, you can literally just throw. Like, now it's like in basketball, you kind of got to do the whole pitch, right? You kind of got to go, oh yeah, here's the money, but we're a championship team. Or, they got to do a pitch. In baseball, it's like, bro, you want to win a title? Cool. How much money you want? All right, cool. Oh, you're not worth it. Get out of here. Like, there's really no cap, so you can kind of handle your business. But I want to ask y'all a question, Coach. I want to throw this over to you. now that we have Mad Max in the Big Apple, obviously Jacob deGrom is still the guy in there. Yep, I want you to be mad. Yeah, be angry. Cry for me, Trey. Cry. I'll drink the salty Dodgers tears. But, Coach, let me ask you a question. Obviously, Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in the Big Apple. But who is now the second best? Is it still Garrett Cole? Or does he got to move over and let Max Scherzer be the second best guy?
Well, if you look at Garrett Cole before the spot, after the spider attack, he has not performed pretty well. If you looked at Garrett Cole, but after the spider attack, he's been getting hit around. Now you get beat by the Yankees. Now he complained about his hamstring wasn't right. Well, if you know your hamstring wasn't right, you shouldn't have been out there pitching, which is he got knocked around anyway. So Max Scherzer, so far, Garrett Cole has not been the same since he left Houston. Of course, when you leave Houston, you're never the same. You're not a part of that winning culture that you once was. George Springer, think about George Springer. He went to Toronto. Guess what? He's hurt. He gets hurt all year. He's not the same. Garrett Cole goes to the New York Yankees. He gets knocked around from time to time, and the Astros knocks him around from time to time. But guess what? Garrett Cole gonna have to move over. I think Mad Max is taking over, and I would hate to see that rotation in the playoffs or in the regular season. I'm sorry, Trey. You would hate to see Max Scherzer go right there. The Dodgers pitching has always been suspect outside of that other guy that y'all got. I forgot they do that y'all got that the Astros tagged up last year. He was the best pitcher in the league. Well, what's that dude name? I keep forgetting that dude name, but he was y'all ace. No. He played for the Dodgers. He was y'all ace. He was the Dodgers ace. Damn, what's that dude name?
Walker Buehler?
Yeah, Buehler, because I remember him playing the Astros. We knocked him around pretty good. We knocked him pretty well. But outside of that, if Kershaw wasn't healthy, the Dodgers pitching was suspect. But other than that, for the Mets, that's a good signing. That's a good signing for the New York Mets, man. They finally got Jacob deGrom some help. They finally got a 1-2 punch, and it'll be hard to see that in the playoffs or in the regular season. So again,
you got jokes, Damien. You got jokes. You like that one, huh, Trey? You like that one,
by the New York Mets. And I feel sorry for them Philly fans. I feel sorry for them Philly fans as well because they have not done nothing yet. So, hey.
I'm not really much of a baseball fan, but that hurt.
Yeah, real quick. Jokic and his brothers were actually partying in Miami last night. And it's to the point where, like, they were singing the Serbian national anthem. The name of the anthem is God of Justice. In Miami, they got people singing it. God damn, Jokic is a thug. I don't care what it is. Let me ask y'all a question. No, I'm just saying Jokic is a thug. Like,
he's a savage.
Let me ask y'all a question because I said this a while ago, and people got mad at me because you can't say nothing about Garrett Cole. I was saying at this point, Garrett Cole is no longer an ace. I think he could be like the second or third pitcher in a rotation, yeah. But after him getting exposed, after like the whole thing when they cracked down on him, and all of a sudden during that stretch, he went what? I think it was like 4-4 with like a 4.16 ERA. So let me ask y'all a question. If y'all disagree, let me know. Do y'all believe that he's still an ace? Because I'll be honest with y'all, I don't think he is anymore. I don't think so. I think as of right now, he could potentially change that. But as of right now, I don't think he could be the best pitcher on the pitching staff.
How old is he?
Garrett Cole? What? I'll tell you right now. I think he's like, I want to say he's like in his 30s. I could spell Garrett Cole. God damn it! Jesus Christ! All right, look, man, look here, 31.
Okay.
He's 31. So he is what he is at this point.
I think he's as much of an ace as Kershaw is. I think, like you was just saying, it's a matter now of it's a matter now of basically looking at the same regulation delegation down to, you know, at the ace, you're not the number one, you're not the opening day starter anymore. Hey, we'll see you at the third game of the series, and just bring us what you and do good work then, and we'll see. So at this point, that's where I'm at with it.
And it's funny because I said that, and how dare you disrespect Garrett Cole? How dare you? Rah. So at this point, I'm just getting violated in the comments. So I don't bother anybody. I'm a good guy. I go to church sometimes. You feel me? I don't litter, but they just violate me just to violate me at this point. But
yep, you were ace when you was with Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh don't have no secondary pitcher. They don't have a. Yes, you was an ace with the New York Yankees because Sammarino can't stay healthy. That was the Yankees' ace before Garrett Cole got up over there, and after he got over there, he just can't stay healthy. And you go to Houston, you wasn't the ace. Verlander was always was there. It's just we had great pitching, and you was able to benefit and fall around. Now, last year, like I said, after the spider tag, you start seeing them getting exposed and get batted around a lot. So again, I can say he's an ace for the Yankees because Sammarino can't stay healthy. Is he a true ace? No, he's gonna have to be behind someone like Verlander, Lansman. If he comes back to Houston, he's a third guy.
Yeah,
because Lance McCullers is very good when he's healthy. He's very good when he's healthy. So he's a third guy. If Houston is considered, he's a third guy. And if Sammarino stay healthy, he will be the second guy, second fiddle to Sammarino. That's the problem. He just can't stay healthy, and that's why he's the number one guy against New York. But ever since after the spider attack, he's been getting beat up and knocked around.
Real bad. And I've been saying that. And it's kind of funny because the only people who say that he's still an ace are either A, Yankees fans, or B, people who just don't watch baseball. But that's really all it comes down to. Because if you watch it, he gets exposed. He's been getting exposed. And the worst part about it, he gets exposed in games he should be winning. Just for example, just recently, their last game, the wild card against my Red Sox, he got exposed. We went in the beginning of the season, I think we swept them 3 times before they got their first win. Garrett Cole was pitching some of those games. So my whole thing is, bro, look, if you can't sit there and admit, and a lot of people just do it because the problem is Garrett Cole is a name, right? And like people are casual. So by name, he's still an ace because it's Garrett Cole. Same thing with Clayton Kershaw. By name, he's an ace. One day when Max Scherzer falls off, guess what? By name, he will be an ace. Justin Verlander, by name, would be an ace. But guess what? Eventually, they're gonna fall off.
So do you think Garrett Cole's overrated then?
I think so.
Yep.
I think so. Because and the only reason is because if you can't say a guy who at one had a consistent stretch where he had a 4.1 ERA or 4.14 ERA, and you call him elite, the question I pose, if Max Scherzer did it, we're questioning his age. If Justin Verlander did it, we're questioning the injury. Every single time Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs shrank, they killed him. They slandered his name, and they ignored the greatness he did in the regular season and slaughtered him and said he was dog shit. For some unknown reason, you're not allowed to talk about Garrett Cole.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why.
You're not allowed to talk about Verlander because I'm going to tell you the real honest truth. Verlander is elite. He's better than Garrett Cole.
Not even close.
Guess what?
Not even close.
The Astros, if the Astros didn't make that move, the trade for Verlander in 2017, it wouldn't be no World Series. Yeah, it would not be no World Series because he straight dominated. He was
and he still can.
He still can dominate. He still can dominate. So no matter about his age, that man still can throw. That man still throw 99 miles. That man still throw 99. Give you a good 99, good 100.
I'm gonna put this out. I don't know. All I'm saying when it comes to Garrett Cole, he's not an ace. And again, the only people who are stuck on that are the people who are crying and saying, "Oh my God, if you don't think he's an ace, you don't know what you're talking about." Again, these are the same people who don't even watch the playoffs, and they Google the World Series and look at the highlight stuff.
You should make a video on that. Like,
If you can't sit down and watch,
That's
and
why the Yankees
understand-
can't win nothing now. That's why they can't win nothing now. That's
Exactly.
why they can't win nothing now.
Exactly. Like, come on, son. Y'all hitching y'all thing to Garrett Cole, and unfortunately, he's being the number one guy. No. In Pittsburgh, he was the number one guy because they didn't have anybody.
They was trash in Pittsburgh.
Where they had somebody, and the dude wasn't number one. Damien called me junkyard dog. Yep. You got.
Oh my God.
You got jokes. You got jokes. Whatever.
What have you called in this stream? My God.
I thought we was all cool. I was under that impression. I guess not. I must have said something mean. Brian Kelly, he was like, "Oh yeah, y'all fighting Irish. Guess what? Y'all need luck because I'm out of here." Drop the mic, dip it over to LSU. So here's the $1 million question I have for you guys to wrap it up. I'm gonna start with you, Coach Dante. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with Trey. I'm gonna start with you, Trey. First, what's next for the LSU Tigers with the inclusion of the new head coach, Brian Kelly?
I think the first thing that is going to be a infusion or injection into their recruiting, to their recruiting game now. Of course, Brian Kelly is known across the NCAA platform, so I think that's the first thing they get. They're going to probably get better recruits at the quarterback position and from an offensive standpoint. We all know that lately they've been DU and then some with some pretty good receivers. So West Coast, yes, sir. So I think that's what's the first thing. That's the first thing that they get out of it is a better recruiting pitch and injection into offense of their offensive players.
Yeah, I will say this. In terms of big names, coaches that could have been on the move, there was 3 of them that really, 3 big name coaches who could have left, right? One of them was Lincoln Riley, obviously. Another name that was rumored, Jimbo Fisher from Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And now, obviously, Brian Kelly, right, who is still a big name, big enough to obviously, go out, reach out to people, recruit. Same thing what Lincoln Riley's going to do at USC, kind of the same thing. Coach, let me ask you a question. Do you think that this fit, I'm talking about Brian Kelly going to LSU, do you think it's a good fit?
For us recruitment and like Trey said, get better. Brian Kelly, when he coached at Notre Dame, he always will bring in athletes. He always will bring in top-notch quarterbacks and receivers, and he's gonna always have him a great running back. So, as far as recruitment, yes, I think Brian Kelly can get this LSU team back on the map. And recruitment gonna be huge, man. He knows how to recruit. He knows how to coach. It's a reason why Notre Dame has always been in the top 4 each and every year and always been competitive. So he's going to help LSU out a lot. Granted, it's in the toughest conference in the SEC, and it's going to be a little harder. Notre Dame plays independent, so that's pretty much they play anybody. They play anybody on a certain time, on a certain schedule. So it's going to be a little more tougher. But as far as recruits, I think Brian Kelly can do it, and I think this could be a good fit for him. He knows college football. He knows how to recruit. He knows how to recruit at the quarterback situation, and he knows how to recruit athletes. So I think this is this can be a good move. This could turn out to be a good move.
Yeah, Mitch, let me ask you a question. Brian Kelly to LSU, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for the new head coach?
Probably chemistry, my guess, for the guys. Because think about it. You're coming into a new thing. Sure, you're an established head coach, but they might have done something else, and you got to get them onto your system. So once you get everyone on the same page, that'll be good for Brian Kelly. So I got to go with chemistry.
And that's a good point. I think.
Yeah. I think I'll be honest. There's going to be 2 main issues. For Brian Kelly. First and foremost, forget the whole recruiting thing. You're gonna have to build a structure, and you're gonna have to build a good culture. Because amongst all this news, with Brian Kelly going there, which kind of leads back to this, that Title IX assault case, that lawsuit is still going on. So step one for Brian Kelly, you're gonna have to go out there and says, "Look, bro, it is what it is. Unfortunately, it happened. We're gonna burn this thing in the ground. For the first 2-3 years, winning is not a priority.
Mm-mm.
The culture is gonna be the priority. We want to bring in good recruits, but we want to make sure we have everyone who's in this building are good people. People who aren't going to do no craziness from not only the players, but coaching. So everyone's going to have to be nice. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Like I said, if I'm him, I don't think winning should be the priority for 2 years. I think you need to be able to make a good culture, bring in good people, not only players, but also coaches, people who, because right now the LSU name is stained a little bit. You're going to have to clean it off just a little bit before you can even think about talking about wins. So for at least a year, maybe 2. And on top of that, it was a great year. It's a great deal. It's a 10-year, $95 million deal. When they had it for 10 years, they immediately said, look, bro, first few years of this contract ain't going to be about wins. When you sign a coach, that's kind of how I looked at it.
Culture.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you establish the coach. Because this isn't a team that's already set and you just need a coach to take them over the hump. This is almost a rebuild. Almost. You know what I mean? I would not be shocked if when he gets there, people start getting fired left and right, and he starts bringing in either people he wants to bring in, because supposedly there are rumors that he wants to bring some people from Notre Dame over to LSU with him. That's a possibility, but even if he doesn't do that, he'll go out and hire some other outside people. That would be, because if I'm not mistaken, in that contract, he has free reign in terms of hiring coaches. I'm pretty sure. So it would be interesting. But the other part that no one's talking about, Trey, Notre Dame. Where do they go from here?
Of course, the no-brainer answer is they go to hiring their next coach, in which Notre Dame is a historic program. Brian Kelly built it up. So I would hope that their athletic director, who by the way was surprised by him leaving, they would ask him to see if there's anyone within their current ranks that would be a key guy to interview or to go after or to ask to see if they would be interested in interviewing for the position. At this point, it's so many other teams that's out there that have openings. Of course, you got Florida. So it's some teams that might be a little more prestigious. I thought about this as a better opportunity.
Didn't Florida already hire somebody?
Did they? Let me see.
They hire. I think they hired the Louisiana head coach. They hired the Louisiana head coach. I forgot his name.
Let's see.
He coached at Louisiana.
Coach. Billy Napier.
Oh, yeah. They got maybe okay. So so Notre Dame is the top one. So now you have Notre Dame that now is the top opening out there. So hopefully but it's going to be more. I foresee more gouging of other teams coaches because it's a bigger program, which of course causes a domino effect, and it just remains to be seen.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, Coach Dante. Let me ask you a question. With Brian Kelly gone, how do you see this affecting Notre Dame's playoff hopes this year and next year? Because even though they went 11-0, they have talent, but with a new head coach, there's a potential that either things can stay the same or things can be thrown for a loop. So how do you see things going for Notre Dame, not only now, but next year?
I think it can affect them just because When you're going into another job, you have to leave immediately. You can't be around the team. And again, I think it can affect them very much. They used to Brian Kelly coaching them, and it'll be interesting to see what Notre Dame who they hired. I heard Bill O'Brien is probably an option that they kind of considering. He's an offensive coordinator from Alabama. Everybody know who Bill O'Brien is. Of course, I'm familiar with that name. So again, that's one rumor that I heard that he's linked to Notre Dame right now, and I can affect them going into the playoff stretch. So it's a big key loss for Notre Dame, especially a man who's been coaching now for probably a decade. And they've been top 4 teams. They always been ranked. They always been competitive, so it can definitely kind of hurt them down the stretch. So we're gonna see how much it will affect them in a bowl game or if they get into the playoffs, but it's definitely can affect them, no doubt.
So Mitch, Oregon, coach at Oregon, or I call him Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So I call him
Oregon.
Or Oregon, or how the fuck is it? I don't know. It's raspy guy. I call him a raspy guy because his voice sounds like he grew up smoking 50 menthols a day. Like that was his number. But so he's not coaching LSU in their bowl game. He's not. He ain't with it. He's officially done with it. Which a lot of people, you including, have thought he should go to Notre Dame and in essence kind of do a coach swap. Mitch, do you think this is a good idea?
I don't know. I really have to think about that. If someone else can go, and I'll come back.
Go ahead, Trey.
Coach O at I don't think he fits the bill. I'm not trying to put him in a box or anything. I just don't foresee that. Coach O's pretty could be kind of high strung, and you're saying that fit that Cajun moniker of being at LSU in Baton Rouge. I don't foresee that being a fit with him up in Notre Dame. Not to take away from Coach O's coaching ability. Of course, like you said, when Lane Kiffin left, he was the interim for USC, and he did a pretty good job. Hence the reason why he left USC, because he felt like he should have got the position, and they gave it to Steve. So then he goes to LSU, gets a pretty good pickup from the portal in Joe Burrow, and gets a national championship. 1 year, 2 years, going on 2 years removed from the national championship. So I just don't foresee it being a good pick for him in Notre Dame.
Yeah. I will say this. I know Coach Ed, Coach O, he did say, I want to, he's old. He wants to take some time off. He wants to relax with his kids, all that stuff. In terms of financials, he doesn't have to really fiend for a job because the $17 million he's getting in the buyout, he's getting it full. Like he's getting all the money. So it is going to be interesting. This does bring up one other question, Coach. I want to throw it to you. Eric Bieniemy to Notre Dame. If there's no head coaching gig in the NFL, do you think it'd be a good idea for him to do this, or do you have him remaining with the Chiefs?
I have him remaining in the NFL. He's gonna get a coaching gig next year. Mark my words. I believe it. He's gonna get a coaching gig next year in the NFL. But it also depends on the money too that colleges throw at him. You see, a lot of people went for money. Went to other places for money. So it's also, I believe he'll listen. It also depends on what they give to him. But I believe he's going to be an NFL head coach next year. He's been waiting. It's his time. He's been waiting for a long time. And he's a very respectable offensive coordinator, offensive play caller. So I believe he's going to get an NFL head coaching gig. But would he listen to it, sit down and listen? I believe he will be good. I believe he'll be good. Notre Dame does offer him. It depends on the money they offer Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Oh, go ahead, Mitch. Go ahead.
I agree with that. I mean, he's going to listen to all offers, but I feel like you're going to say in the NFL, but to where? That questions me because I don't know where.
Right, because here's the thing. I don't know if Eric Bieniemy would want to be a part of a rebuild. I think he wouldn't mind being a part of a team like the Raiders, right? If the Raiders, who are a good team, they're there, need a couple things here and there. But I will say that I do believe if I'm Eric Bieniemy and there's no head coaching gig that either reaches out to me or there's no head coaching gig that I feel comfortable with, I do take a look at college. I feel like he should take a look at college. To answer your question, Damien, I do think it's a possibility. And the reason I think it's a possibility is because if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm looking, the NFL is my first choice. That's priority one. If either no team reaches out to me, or on the flip side, if no team really is kind of giving me what I want, and I'm not comfortable with a team, and I don't want to go back to the Chiefs, and being a head coach is what I desperately want, you might have to go to the collegiate level, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because we see guys from the collegiate level get hired to the NFL a lot. Nick Saban had his try. Chip Kelly. You know what I mean? Like,
don't bring that name out.
Like, we've seen guys, who started had a head coaching gig in the collegiate level and then get their call to go to the NFL. So, and I don't know if you disagree with me, Trey, but I feel like if there's no NFL team that'll give them a chance, I'm not going back to the Chiefs to be a coordinator. I'm gonna look at the collegiate level and say, all right, who do we got here? Like Damien said, to Clemson, right? If Clemson has a vacancy, try it out. If Notre Dame, maybe, I feel like if to be a head coach, he should at least look at the collegiate level.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you're muted. We can't hear you. Yeah, we still can't hear you. Yeah. Nah, we don't hear you at all. While you try to figure that out real quick, Notre Dame is not a bad place to coach.
It's not.
It's really not. So
Hey, I want to throw one more name out there, Pride, that
No,
I
go
think that can really consider being a head coach at the collegiate level, because I heard him possibly head coaching in the NFL. Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator from
Okay.
Tampa Bay. That could be
Yes.
someone that could really consider, because he's on the verge of up and coming to being another head coach as well. And he's a great play caller. He's a great offensive coordinator as well. So that's another name that I wanted to throw in that can consider.
I like that one a lot.
All right, Trey, can you hear us? We cannot hear you. Jeez. Nah,
And I think someone's muted. It's just funny to me. I don't know why.
No, he's not muted.
No, I mean,
All right, but look, there is going to be a couple guys who can go and do his to take the job. I have heard this a lot. Jeff Fisher.
That's a new one for me.
I believe it or not, the past few days I've been hearing Jeff Fisher.
To
And
where?
I've been seeing his name. Me personally, if I'm running a program, I wouldn't mind taking Jeff Fisher, but I have names over him. Like I don't know any, and if you guys disagree, please feel free to jump in. But I don't think there's any program out there that's saying Jeff Fisher is our number one. I don't think anybody's saying that. I think most of them are like, let's look through A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Nobody? All right. Then we're getting close to the, next year comes. We still don't have a coach. I can see someone settling for Jeff Fisher. But in terms of him being the number one, I don't see it.
I don't see him being number one either.
Would you take Byron Leftwich? Would you consider Byron Leftwich?
For college or
for college, or would you consider it?
Yes. Over Jeff Fisher, yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's one of the names that you're going to have over Jeff Fisher. No debate.
Yeah. Because he's well known, and I'm hearing next year he could consider being an NFL head coach.
Yeah,
but if a college job open, if I'm Byron Leftwich, I can consider taking college and being a head coach.
They're saying Leftwich is kind of like the college version
Yeah.
of Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
Like they're saying he's like the college version.
He knows X's and O's. He knows football. Byron Leftwich knows football. He knows X's and O's. He knows pretty good X's and O's.
Right. He knows. Yes. He knows what he's doing. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I do think, like I said, I have him kind of in the same thing, as Eric Bieniemy, where I don't want him going back to Tampa. I do not want him going back. If you can go get a head coaching gig, great. But if you can't get on the NFL level and you have to go to the collegiate level, it's okay.
I would jump on that. I would actually jump it and do it. Jump and do that.
Yes, because that's the thing. If no one's gonna give you a call, just go. You know what I mean? And I think and again, the only teams that look at Byron Leftwich, if we're gonna be honest, is gonna be the Chicagos of the world, maybe the Raiders, but even then it depends. If that's what it's really gonna be. The Jacksonville Jags.
Yep, because he used to play for Jacksonville. That can be considered.
Right.
If Urban Meyer decide to resign, he decides he don't like it no more. That could be a job opening.
Right. I know this sounds like a joke, but I see Gruden's brothers getting a college job. I'm assuming you mean Jay Gruden, the one who was with Washington.
I can see that.
I can, but I do think it's a little bit of a reach.
It will be
I'll
a
be
reach.
honest. I think Jeff Fisher has a better chance of getting a job than Jay Gruden at this point. And John Gruden's gonna have to take like a few years off of football, period. So to rinse out to waft out the stench, you know what I mean, that he kind of has on his name right now. So he's gonna have to wait a while. Jay Gruden, maybe. Don't forget, he was involved with the whole Washington football team and that whole horrible work environment thing. He was there, you know.
To go back to what you said about the John Gruden and the stench, that's never going away. I think that's never going away.
I think
social media, everything, the cancel culture and all that. I don't think it will ever go away.
I think it'll go away, and the reason I think it'll go away is this. If Dan Snyder can keep skating through no problem, I don't see why John Gruden can't. That's how I look at it. I always thought this. Given enough time, people won't forgive. They won't forgive you. But given enough time, they'll be too lazy to care. And I think that's
like the Michael Vick. You mean like the Michael Vick situation?
Michael Vick, right?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name. He was Greg Hardy.
Oh,
Greg Hardy. When he went, you know what I mean? When he went, beat the bricks off his wife. And then, the Panthers released him, and then he ended up getting a job with Dallas. Then when Dallas didn't work out, he's now in the UFC. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
there are options, but it's different with John Gruden in my eyes for what he said.
I mean, yeah, it is different. It is different, but at the same time, and yes, perfect. Gritty. Don't forget Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
Joe Mixon had his fair share. And we forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I completely and utterly forgot about that.
He almost broke his wife's face.
Yes. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So it's like, we're looking at some guys who, like I said, I'm not saying that you'll be forgiven. Jesus Christ, my son was just babbling up a storm. I didn't even know who was talking about. Dad.
Dante's laughing.
God damn, bro. Nah, bro. Look, man, I say this all the time. I'm a bitch in this household. No debate, bro. Like, and yeah, Big Ben in his situation. People just got too. The only time people really bring it up is when people are going on their Ben Roethlisberger rants, and they just bring it up. But no one really cares much to really do anything about it. You know what I mean?
So what about
even to an extent, Ray Rice to an extent, because even after he did it, people were campaigning for him to get a job. You know what I mean? So it's like,
What about Deshaun Watson? Would he get a job?
Yes.
Really?
No.
That's no doubt. Yes.
No.
Once this stuff clears.
No. Once it's settled, he's gone. And you know who else? You know who else who had problems for as great as he is? Ray Lewis. For as great as he is. Oh, it's Gritty and Yuki literally just said it. Literally just said
Ray Lewis was involved in a murder murder case.
Yes, bro. T.O. was a drug addict, and people like that. So my thing is, I genuinely
Chico Burris.
Yes, and by the way, I'm pretty sure, I'm convinced somewhere along this whole sea of hair, I'm pretty sure I have a great one. These kids,
oh yeah, me too.
These kids stress the bejesus out of me. But yeah, Paxco Barris, like there have been guys who have done stuff, and it's just, I genuinely believe with time, will he be forgiven? No, but I think after a few years, no one's gonna care.
I mean, right now he's suing the NFL.
Yeah, he is, which everyone's like, "Oh yeah, free John Gruden," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're an idiot." The only problem, I don't mind the NFL doing that stuff. My only issue is, what about the Washington football team? We've been waiting for them shits for like years now. Like we've been waiting for that for years. So I'm glad they did it with John Gruden. I get it, but we're still waiting for the Washington football team. We're still waiting for all that stuff. Whether we'll get it or not, I don't know. And I'll be honest with you, I genuinely believe I don't think we will ever get those emails and text messages and all that shit released. I don't think so. I think we're kind of stuck with the information we got, and as the children say, it is what it is. But that's it for us this morning. It has been your boy Pride, of course, Mitch, Coach Dante, Greg was with us. So was Bishop and Trey. On behalf of everybody here, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys in the chat. We will be here tomorrow, same place, same time, different shit we're saying. See you guys tomorrow. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so time for laces. Whole sports all plays.